Hey there, it's me, Red Knight, and welcome back to my channel for another 2022 video. That's right, everybody, we're back and we've got more videos for you. In this case, it's season 28, and we are getting the Great Wall. And I've got a lot of information to tell you about it as well. Now, what kind of valley is this one going to be? Well, it is a sanctuary valley. So we are going to be looking for some wonderful animals. Once we've collected those animals and we've got the specific number required, we can then hopefully claim that beautiful decoration. Now, the good thing about the Sanctuary Valley is the tokens. Now, for me, I don't like the Chick Valley. I like the Sanctuary Valley because I get lots of tokens, which means I can spend lots of tokens within the actual shop as well. So, enjoy that. Now, to find those actual animals, you've got to drive around the map. Sometimes they are easy to see, sometimes they are not. Once you've collected 3, head on back to the Sanctuary, deposit them, and then go hunting another 3. And it's rather easy that way. Right, now let's talk about the Great Wall of China, and I'm going to go over a Did You Know video here, because I kind of like learning a little bit more about the decoration that Heyday is giving us. So let's get right on into that and start looking at what is coming. Now, did you know that the Great Wall of China took 1,800 years to build? That's a long time. That's about as long as the quotation they gave me for building my porch. Now, the reason for the wall is to protect the country, and walls can be very useful for that. However, you do need to build a lot of wall when you have a very large country. So it was started during the Qin dynasty. He actually added 5,000 kilometers, but dynasties come and they go, and then new people take over. So the wall was actually continued, hence the fact that it did take quite a long time to actually build. It's kind of like building a pyramid or other kind of buildings. You can't get them done quickly, especially when there are a lot of difficulties of land changing and going different directions. Now, it's not one wall. So when I think of a wall, I think of like a wall that's a straight line. This is not. This is a large collection of walls actually joined together, which I found kind of interesting itself. I just hope that they could find matching bricks. Now, one thing that I did find surprising when I was reading about the Great Wall was the fact that not all of the ingredients and materials that they used were standard items. I think bricks and stones and mortar, but they used sticky rice. Sticky rice, that is definitely something that I never would have considered. For me, when I think of rice, I think of like my breakfast, or I think of my lunch or my dinner. I don't think of bonding walls together, but supposedly it does make it much better. Now, the construction workers for the wall were not your regular citizens. The labourers itself quite often were convicts. So if you committed a crime, you might be given this kind of community service, which is a very extreme one and a very dangerous one. So imagine having your head shaved, your faces black-faced, and your limbs bound in chains to build this wall in very severe and uncomfortable conditions. I suppose if you're a criminal, though, it's a fitting punishment. However, this kind of work was very dangerous, so quite a lot of people did actually die, and estimates state it's about 400,000 people. Now, when you do die in Asia, there are certain rituals that people try to carry out to allow your spirit to move on. And in this case, they use roosters. So family members worried about the spirits of their loved ones. So what they would do is they would bring roosters and use those roosters as a way of helping the spirits move on. And this was supposedly believed to help guide the soul away from the fortification so they were not trapped there. I do like the sound of this in many ways. I find the death stories that we see around the world rather interesting. Now, the next one I did like from the information I got is about the tributes paid to historical figures, etc. And I kind of found this section rather interesting because it gives me some additional people to go and look at and to find out more knowledge about. And that's one great thing I like about history itself. It tells me a lot about what is made and built, and I can research it. For example, I know that the wall wasn't good at keeping out invaders. It didn't do the job that it was intended to do. Now, in relation to the wall, I thought that maybe the wall would be very, very famous and popular in China, but actually it became more famous because of Westerners, because of other people outside of the country. We made it more popular. So in some ways, it's kind of interesting to know that people from outside the country like something, and as a result, the country itself then has kind of like promoted that object so it becomes more popular with other people around the world, and then we start learning about it. And in some ways, that's kind of cool. Sometimes appreciation needs to come from outside the family. Right, now another thing. Is the wall visible from space? Now, as a young kid, I was always told, yes, it's visible. I read many things, but actually it's not. And that's kind of cool to know. It's a very interesting misconception. You cannot see it from the moon. The easiest you can see it from, I think, is like in low orbit. And quite a few people have actually said, no, you cannot see this object from space. But people still believe it even to this day. You need to be low orbit, you need to have the sunlight in the right position, you need to have the weather in the perfect condition, and then you may just see it. Just read the book. Right, thousands of miles of the original wall have disappeared. Oh my god, now that sounds rather bad. But like most walls in most countries, sometimes you have an object, sometimes it stays there, sometimes it goes. Like if I think of Himeji Castle and the surrounding areas, the walls have disappeared. You can still see some things, but not everything. Sometimes the walls are removed and used for building resources. Sometimes they're removed because they're no longer needed. Sometimes they fall apart because of lack of maintenance. And there's a lot of things that actually happen to the wall over the years, as you can see from reading this information that I'm giving you. It's only like in modern times that the wall has actually become more popular, as I said, mainly because of outside appreciation to it itself. Now, in relation to the wall itself, okay, they believe that many of the portions might vanish because of 2040. Now, that's the effect of something becoming very, very popular. The more popular it becomes, the more tourists you have. And you end up with a lot of damage from tourism. You end up with a lot of damage from these environmental aspects caused by people going there. Now, I really hope that China is able to fully repair the wall. And I do know that they do have a very good maintenance system for it. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of wall, and you can't really do all of it. Another factor I really found interesting as well is the names of it. Now, I call it the Great Wall of China, and that's a name used by many people. But the amount of names that this wall has and the name of the wall itself within the country is very, very different. So you may find that when you read stories or you read poems that the wall has a slightly different name than what you are comfortable with. In China itself, it's just called the Long Wall. If that's the Long Wall, I wonder what's greater than that one. Now, like I said, I enjoy finding out a bit about the decoration we're giving. I will be posting more videos based on past decoration and new videos, so make sure you check out this playlist for 2022 and subscribe to my channel if you would like to know more information. Please do enjoy the valley. I know I will. See you next time. Bye now.